Kaapi, Kashaya, and personal interaction with the yogi. We have with us today a revered sannyasi, a monk from the most esteemed Ramakrishna order, Ramakrishna Mission, Srimad Swami Dayadhipananda Maharaj, who is fondly called as Shivkumar Maharaj by all the devotees, and who is also a medical doctor and also the medical superintendent of the Ramakrishna Mission Sevashrama at Kankal, Rishikesh, Haridwar. I welcome Swami Dayadhipananda Maharaj. Maharaj, namaste, pranam, welcome you, swagatam.
Namaste, namaste.
So nice to have you, Maharaj, on this talk show during this difficult time of the pandemic COVID-19 situation happening. And we're all in, kind of uncertainties, lot of things happening. But, monks like you keep motivating us, taking the common people in the right track at the right time. So that way, today, I think we are really blessed in this occasion of the International Day of Yoga 2020. We are doing this series for all the 21 days from 1st of June to 21st June, talking with various experts in the field of yoga, connected people with yoga, to bring about various dimensions and aspects of yoga. And today, world over, the word yoga has become a buzzword. Everybody talk of it. Yoga has been happening even in the parliaments and in corporates and schools, education. Yoga has found its place everywhere. But if in this recent times, if this great exposure of yoga has happened, welcoming yoga all over the world has happened, I think the credit goes to Swami Vivekananda. It is he who took to the Western world and brought the aspect of yoga there through his epoch-making speech on Chicago at September 11th, 1893. Since then, the doors of yoga and Indian traditional wisdom got opened to the world. And then slowly people started going and teaching yoga everywhere. The reception of yoga is wonderful. So Swamiji is one who took yoga from the Himalayas or the ashrams to, the worldwide thing which started. So in this connection, Swamiji, whom we have with us today, Swami Dayadhipananda Maharaj, represents Swami Vivekananda's, lineage. It's Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda's lineage. Ramakrishna Mission, as we all know, is the organization started by Swami Vivekananda to do wonderful seva and spiritual activities with the motto Atmano Mokshartam Jagat Hitaya Cha. And therefore today, whatever we do in yoga, we have to give the Samarpana to Swami Vivekananda who started this. And so we are very glad that Swamiji is here with us from the same order of the monks of Ramakrishna Mission. So Maharaj, I would like to start with this here, that you had been a medical graduate. You are somebody who had completed your medical education in the year 2000 from JJM Medical College at our own Karnataka, Davangere. And being a medical doctor, were you not inspired to continue your profession being a doctor? Your parents at that young age, I'm sure would have been a tough time to get into the monkhood. They would have wanted, today medical education is looked upon as an investment which the parents do upon their children. It is not so easy, even though through merit, a person like you, through merit you would have got it, but it's not, it's like something fortune that you've got. So how did you took this chance of getting into monkhood and, becoming a monk, and how did you succeed? Please, I want to ask this. I know that usually sannyasis of Ramakrishna Mission don't speak their personal part, but I am exceptionally, that's why I kept it surprised. I didn't talk to you about it before, but for the audience, it's so important to know in this context. So I'll just ask you, Maharaj.
At the outset, my love and greetings to all. Namaskaram. I have been watching Professor Subu's this special program, Kaapi with the Yogi, and I also had the opportunity to watch some of the talks live, and also after the talk also I watched. And really, I am thankful to Professor Subu bhaiya, for having me here in this session today. And I have been following the talks through various experts based on their work. People practicing yoga and talking based on their work. So I also had to learn many things. And as Sri Ramakrishna says, Joto bachi, toto sikhi. Yeah, as long as I live, I do learn. So let us take this opportunity to learn. So coming back to the question asked by Subu bhaiya, yeah, as a young medical graduate, I started to work in a government hospital after completing my MBBS. Meanwhile, I was preparing for my PG entrance. When I started to work in a government hospital, as you know, the moment I say government hospital, so many ifs and buts, so many questions, how to do it, one who is going to serve. And people who come there, they come with a lot of expectation. Yahan jaane se mera kuch hoga. If I reach there, something will be done for me because I don't have anybody. So that was a tough time when I started to serve the poor and needy who reached the government hospital with pain, agony, and not only physical at various levels, which I later learned through different terminologies, which we yogis of different traditions use different words to present the same different conditions that they are suffering. I started to look this word with a different vision. As we all know, as a young boy, a medical graduate, I also had the same things. Yes, MBBS, after that PG, after that super specialty, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do all that things I had. And for that, I was also preparing for my PG entrance exam. When I started to serve in this government hospital in the district of Haveri, if somebody knows the place Bankapur, Ranna Adhyana Madadanta Sthala. Bankapur Community Health Center was the place where I started to work. When I started to work there, I met a Swami by name Swami Purushothamananda in Belgaum. In Belgaum, when I met this Swamiji, I found Swami Vivekananda in him. That was the personality. So Swami Purushothamananji attracted me.
I think when you said this name, I think at least our friends from Karnataka who are watching know now what the magic could have happened. Because meeting Swamiji had been turning point for many, of course, who had become monks in huge number from Karnataka during those days. They were influenced by Swamiji's message as well as this beautiful mesmerizing bhajans and his the approach of a fatherly approach. And even lay people like us who are there in the normal samsaric jivana also, it is in thousands which Swamiji had touched and made a transformation. So the very name, what you say, Swami Purushothamananji, as you rightly said, to see Swami Vivekananda in him has been many of our experience. So now I can understand, how the transformation could have happened. Please continue, Swamiji. Please continue.
So that was the magnanimous personality towards which I was attracted. So when I say youth, we always get attracted to something which is higher, something precious, something valuable. So that was Swami Purushothamananda. After meeting him, I started to learn what real life means. Jivana andrenu, jivanada uddesha yenagbeku. And when he used to sing bhajans, he used to become one with the bhajans. So that bhava samrajya. So after meeting Swamiji, I started to read Swami Vivekananda in detail. Every second Saturday, Sunday, I'll go to Belgaum, spend time with the Swamijis and Brahmacharis, keep on reading, and I used to get energized so that I'll come back and work in the government hospital. So to make it simple, I had a solution for all the challenges that I was facing in a government hospital. The work, which was very troublesome, became very easy. Usually we keep on complaining, government hospital mein ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai. After meeting Swami Purushothamananji, every challenge became an opportunity for me to prove something. And the concept, what Swami Vivekananda has given to this word, Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitaya, as said by Subu in the beginning itself, on which all this Ramakrishna Mission and Mutt works. Selfless service to the poor and needy Through that, I can evolve spiritually. First time when I heard, it was something eye-opener because I never heard it. Even though I had heard through my elders, it had not penetrated into me. So because of that great personality, these ideas got penetrated deep into me. So as I said, after recharging my battery, I used to come and work in the government hospital, and the work became fun for me. I started enjoying it. I never complained. I used to stay in the government hospital campus 24 hours inside the campus in Bankapur. So I used to go to different people whom घर में celebration होता तो मेरे को बुलाते थे. So I became part of everybody's family in that village, Bankapur. So that's what made me to think more what this really selfless service is. Then I look back and saw usually when I work for myself, I want this, I want this, I want this. And there is no end for this want, desire, so called. But when you start serving others, your wants go on reducing and you find joy in serving others. So that's what exactly happened to me when I met Swami Purushothamananda, when I read Swami Vivekananda in detail. The life and message of Swami Vivekananda was the turning point for me to take up the life of a monk.
Very nice. But how did your family and others accept it? It's your decision that you have taken. But usually, at that young age when you take, always for people, for common people, spirituality and sannyasa is at the, for the fag end of your life. They would say even in our system, you see it's brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. I think Adi Shankaracharya, of course, and then Swami Vivekananda changed the scenario that directly from brahmacharya to become a sannyasa, they made the wave. But, usually it's not so easy for family to, you made this decision because you had a powerful change agent who transformed your life. Swamiji was there. Purushottamanaji was there. Yeah. But, for common parents, it is not so easy that they let you go. So how did you face that challenge and how did you make it also an opportunity?
Even for me, after taking the decision, so many things came into my mind. अरे मैं छोड़ के जाऊंगा तो बंकापुर में इतने गरीब पेशेंट को कौन देखेगा? Who will see all these poor patients if I leave this place? Exactly. I am doing a great service, so this is the greatest opportunity to serve. This same thought came to me also, but answer again came from within. Yes, you can serve better when your personality develops in a beautiful way. When you learn more about service. So that desire to learn more about selfless service, that desire to evolve spiritually, which again came from within. Again, I think it is blessings of the Lord, blessings of the Guru. ಭಗವಂತನ ಕೃಪೆ ಮತ್ತು ಗುರು ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಸದ್ವಿಚಾರ ಮನದಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಬಂತು. Then I finally went and approached Swami Purushothamananda. I want to become a monk of the Ramakrishna Mission. He said, you are doing a beautiful work at government hospital, Bankapur, because I used to arrange satsangs, I used to go to schools, I used to talk about Swami Vivekananda during these health camps. Then already Swami Purushothamananda knew that I was also working in the government hospital. I will also go and talk to students and public about Swami Vivekananda's ideas. He said, you're doing a wonderful work, please continue it. I said, yes, Swamiji, I am doing. But when I come here, I feel I have got a lot to learn in the spirituality line. So as a novice, I need all your protection and guidance. For that, this ashrama environment is very much elevating. So when I come here, I feel elevated. So why, in the beginning days, I need this ashrama to grow spiritually. That's why I want to join here. Then he said, very good. Now you come and join. After I joined, my parents, as I said, only son, first doctor from their family. My father was a teacher and we came from an agricultural background, joint family, so many people. So they all came, after completing medical degree, we are so much proud. Now you have given up everything and you have joined Ramakrishna Mission. Who will take care of us? I said, God will take care of you, because I have come to serve God here. Same thing I expressed to Swami Purushothamananji. My parents have come, they are coming and putting a lot of force on me to go back home. He said, hold on to Sri Ramakrishna. If you hold on to Sri Ramakrishna will take care of your parents. And one more very strong word, he said, there is no connection between a sannyasi and a samsari. These are the strong words he used. So that was for me personally. These are the personal instructions to inspire me to take up spiritual life and establish. So to make it simple, yes, like any other parents, my parents also very much wanted me at home. But by the grace of the Lord and Guru, that spiritual quest made me to join, learn, and evolve myself into a nice personality so that I can serve better in future.
Very nice to know your initial journey, Maharaj. And but you have been a doctor. You said you've already had a very good track record of serving people better in the hospital and doing that. But once you join the mission, I'm pretty sure that immediately you will not get chance. Today you are working in a medical setup, applying all the medical knowledge what you already got in your academics and in your professional career there in the hospital, what you're doing. But usually I know the system in the Ramakrishna Mission that immediately when you join as a brahmachari, 9 years of vigorous training and everything, where you would not be led to touch even the stethoscope or the BP apparatus, and you would be rather taking a jadu and cleaning and doing other social works and doing the spiritual learning and all those things. So it is. So how did you manage that? Because often, sometimes at this stage, you can feel that it's better I go back to the hospital and do this than doing this. So how did you manage that phase of your training, which is so
tough? As a spiritual aspirant, I think this is a very good question. Everybody should look into us. So when we say adhyatma, look into yourself. That's what I learned in the beginning. So this question is very appreciable when I look into myself. So Swami Purushothamananda said in the beginning, so if you want to serve, you have to develop yourself properly. To develop myself, the greatest problem that anyone will face is that ego. I know this, I alone know this work is superior and I am a superior person. This can come into anybody's mind. But in the novice days, what Swami Purushothamananda taught, as taught by Swami Vivekananda, no work is great and no work is little. All work that we do is equal. Only with what attitude I do, that matters. So if we can develop the right attitude, then we learn better and better. So to remove that ego, which comes in between, we try to develop our personality spiritually, ego has to be removed. With your stethoscope, your pen in hand, you can easily write and you feel superior, you feel great about it. But if the broomstick, jadu is given in your hand, can you do with the same pride that I have got the great opportunity to clean this room? If that can happen, it will help to evolve spiritually. So to make it simple, कोई भी काम छोटा नहीं है, कोई भी काम बड़ा नहीं. किस भाव से हम करते हैं, उस भाव को भगवान देखता है. In the eyes of the God, no work is big, no work is little. With what attitude I do, that alone counts. So to develop the right attitude of service, it's very important to keep up our all ego, degrees, about which we keep on feeling a lot of proud. Keep those aside and do all the little work with the attitude of service. Feel proud that you have got a great opportunity to do all the small service to the Lord. So that teachings which were taught by Swami Purushothamananda were very much helpful. And I would also like to share one small personal experience. As you say, there are more than 40 brahmacharis, highly qualified, who left everything and joined Belgaum Ashrama under Swami Purushottamanaji. As a novice, we also had little ego clashes and all. That time, once he personally explained to me, Shivkumar, you see, if you can keep your degree aside and serve properly, everybody will lift you. So that was the greatest teaching for me. Keep your ego aside and serve with the right attitude. So those are the initial days where we had a lot to learn, and it was great learning under Swami Purushottamanaji.
Excellent, Maharaj. Because when we have a lot of passion to serve and to grow in spirituality, we come. But to sustain that, for a long time, it is not so easy for a beginner stage. So I think that is where the guidance of a master, a guru like Swami Purushottamanaji, who had been, is very essential. Nowadays in the field of yoga, also I see people come learn a course and then they get professionally qualified and start doing. But it's so important to have a guru always to guide with us. That is so important. We should have the guru in Kannada. We say the goal which should be in the front of us and the guru in the back who is pushing us in the right direction. So if that is there, if the guru is there, the path can be very good. And your experience very nicely brought to that, Maharaj. So when you're telling about seva, the service, seva bhavana which we should have, and do all activity. I think that is what Krishna also says, yogastha kuru karmani. Keep your mind in that, kind of yogic attitude and do all the work is what, we see Krishna also telling in the Gita. And this time when the pandemic situation started, the COVID-19 corona started, the world, came to kind of shaken stage, and it was a very unfortunate, unforeseen situation, which, at least in the recent past, we have not experienced for the first time that world over something which is happening, and people cannot go out and do their routine things, and being in lockdown for almost more than 2 months, and this thing started. But always Ramakrishna Mission had stood for seva, for service. No matter whether it is a flood or a famine or an earthquake or any kind of shackles which has happened to the society, always one of the first organization to come and start doing is the Ramakrishna Mission. Even when the Prime Minister started the campaign of Swachh Bharat, the Ramakrishna Mission, various centers, to my remembrance, even our own Mangalore center started this, and then they started, the first thing to do, they seva is something which they do. So in this COVID-19 pandemic situation, what are the kind of service activities which in general, overall the Ramakrishna Mission, and particularly the Haridwar Kankal Sevashrama where you are involved, what are the kind of COVID-19 situation? Just in quick, I want to know, so that before we go into further yoga discussion, I want you to highlight that for the viewers, Maharaj.
Yeah, during this COVID-19, Ramakrishna Mission Kankal Haridwar took up a special project where we prepared a ration kit, grocery, which would suffice for 15 to 20 days for a family consisting of 5 to 7 members, in which we kept all the essentials like rice, dal, oil, cooking oil, all those things. So after preparing such kits, we went and did a survey where people will live in the hut, go there, identify them, and give them card, and try to go and give the ration kits to them, so that it will be useful for them during this pandemic COVID-19 situation. Along with that, we also prepared on pamphlet to create an awareness about COVID-19. Also, we gave them mask. So mask, pamphlet, and ration kit for a family. So like that, we distributed for more than 7,000 families in a span of 2 months, and we could involve all district level officers, other NGOs, and other monks of different ashramas. So unitedly, we could reach more than 7,000 families, which means around 35,000 people. And that was the unique project which was taken by our Ramakrishna Mission Kankal Haridwar under the guidance of our Secretary Swamiji, Swami Nitya Shuddhananji. It was a great experience. Friend in need is friend indeed, as we say. So we could feel when we used to go with ration kit to their family, their huts, they felt so happy. They blessed us. Towards the end of the day, we felt, yes, I have done a little, whatever possible in my own humble way to serve the humanity. So after doing that relief work, we could develop that dhanyata bhav that was about this COVID-19 relief work.
I think like that I see even from various centers in Karnataka, Delhi, and various mission centers from West Bengal, everywhere they have taken a very active role in helping reaching out to the people. The Swamijis have come down literally to do this wonderful work, and that is what Ramakrishna Mission has been doing always. And your specialty has been in diabetes, especially you're working with the type 1 diabetes children as the you call them as the diabetic champs. And so how did you get into doing that? And in that aspect, you have even taken a keen active role in introducing yoga to them also in the ashram. And even I remember that you have come up with a research project with collaboration with SVASA and various other institutes to bring relevance of yoga in type 1 diabetes. And want to discuss with you about that, Maharaj. Please do take ahead.
So when I say about type 1 diabetes, I want to give a brief message to everybody who are watching this. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disorder where body has failed to produce insulin. If my body is not producing insulin, my blood sugar is not getting converted to energy. So all of a sudden, a child may present in my emergency in diabetic ketoacidosis. Healthy child who was very happy going to school, playing with friends, suddenly comes to emergency in diabetic ketoacidosis. When I take the history, I get the history of polyuria, polydipsia, polypepsia. So the child drinks a lot of water, goes to urination frequently, and a lot of weight loss even after eating a lot. So then I suspect type 1 diabetes. So when I do the sugars, more than 300, serum ketones positive, and the child has come in diabetic ketoacidosis. Such a child can lead a happy and normal life like any other child. Even more, better, he can perform, she can perform if proper diabetes education is given to them. So that was the thing which I learned from my professor, who came all the way from St. Louis, America, to serve our mission here. So under the eminent teachings of my professor, I learned all about type 1 diabetes. When I started to work with these children, what I realized, what we learn academically is very little. What you apply in practice, and when you see the results in others, that's more important. So a little effort gave me a lot of results, a smile on this face of this children. So our project was not just to treat with insulin, but to educate them. Diabetes education. So I have to teach them about how to take insulin, how much to take insulin, what to eat, how to lead a healthy life. Dinacharya, what should be their daily routine. So I started to conduct every month support group meeting where we will involve the children and their parents. We talk all about diabetes technically and support them emotionally. Emotional support based on spiritual practice. That was the basic idea with which we started this project. When I came to Haridwar, there were 20 type 1 diabetic children 9 years back, 2011 I came here. Then we went on conducting meetings, educating. Now we have more than 300 type 1 diabetic children. We call them as diabetic champions because they have defeated diabetes. They are the champions now. They say that I'm proud that I have got type 1 diabetes. Because I had type 1 diabetes, I came to Ramakrishna Mission. Because I came to Ramakrishna Mission, I learned what is life. I learned how to take care of myself. Type 1 diabetes is blessings in disguise. So how can they say this? As I said, it's not just treating with medicine. This is what I experienced in my life. education. So when I say education, it is to make yourself strong. Swami Vivekananda says, every page of Upanishad speaks to me about strength, physically, mentally, intellectually, spiritually strong. So such personalities, such boys and girls, such youths, such great citizens can alone make this country a strong nation. Based on these teachings of Swami Vivekananda, I started to work for them to make them physically strong. They should do exercise, yoga. To make them morally, intellectually strong, give them right knowledge and right values. As Swami Ranganathananji says, 13th president of Ramakrishna Mission, all the moral values are the byproducts of the spiritual practices.
Yes.
So anything that we see is coming from our spiritual heritage. That I had realized by the life and message of Swami Vivekananda and great monks of Ramakrishna Mission. So those values I started to inculcate in this support group meeting. So in the support group meeting, what I introduced was, all will come, they will clean the hall, they will prepare the hall, seva, karma yoga they will do. So this is not just a hospital, this is a temple. That bhava should come in. After that, they will sit together, pray together. Itini shakti hame dena data. That is our standard prayer. We start our meeting. After the prayer, we talk to them about value of doing physical exercise for physical fitness. Along with that, I added role of yogasanas and pranayama. Of course, in the last 6 months, I am focusing more on pranayama. By the word yoga, I teach them about asanas and pranayama. So asanas will keep your body fit. It will make your body strong. The pranayama that I do, that will rejuvenate you. It will give you all the energy, prana shakti. So all these small teachings, I went on teaching them. I created an interest with these boys and girls to learn more about yogasana and pranayama. So by the help of efficient yoga teachers from Patanjali, Yasvyasa, and other my known friends, every month I try to bring all the yoga experts. And I also do yogasana and pranayama with my children during this support group meeting. So creating an interest, encouraging them to do daily. Along with higher ideas, great lives of Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada Devi, Swami Vivekananda, all the saints of our great nation, lives of great saints, how their lives have made this mankind greater, a better man. So talk to them, show them some videos, tell them stories. So inculcate all the moral values based on spiritual practice, prayer, and in the also along with that I taught them meditation. So all the children, they're so sincere. Children who used to take 60 units per day to maintain their blood sugars because as their body is not producing insulin, they have to take insulin lifelong. After practicing proper yogasana, pranayama, having right dinacharya, filling the mind with divine thoughts, all-round development, what we call physical, mental, moral, intellectual, and spiritual. So when I started working with few ideas, a child who should take 60 units per month, per day, now the insulin requirement 30 units. So according to medical science, physical exercise and yoga and pranayama will reduce the insulin resistance, take away all the mental stress. So now the children, they have learned this. So definitely in my children, yogasana and pranayama helps help them to reduce the insulin requirement, and they're happy and they're able to inspire others. So that's where I feel role of yoga and meditation is very important for anybody, especially when we are in some trouble. So first to come out of it, and you all move, progress, keep on going, go forward as Sri Ramakrishna says. That's about these children.
And definitely, so as you rightly said, it is diabetes where you have been working, but even with other health issues like currently, for example, the COVID-19 when it is there, I'm sure yoga and all the spiritual teachings can help a lot for people in this kind of situation also. So how do you think its relevance, yoga's relevance in this situation? Because you are both sides. You are a medical doctor as well as you are a yoga practitioner and a propagator through the monkhood. So how do you look at this situation of coronavirus also, yoga's relevance, Swamiji?
Yeah, a very good question, especially during this COVID-19 period. Everybody is worried about the death, mrityu bhaya. Though it's every day on our doorstep, but we feel as if we are going to live amaratva. That fear is always there, but in such situations like Mahamari, it's more. So that fear itself is a great danger. As we know very well, the stress is very much responsible to reduce our body immunity. So reduced immunity, the chances of getting such infections become more. So if one has to be free from all this stress and fear, he should hold on to our culture, yoga. So yoga makes oneself free from all the stress that will help to increase our immunity. And when we do proper yogasana and pranayama, it will make you physically strong. It will bring you more vital energy. So I feel, especially in such diseases where there is no much medical treatment, yogasana is the ultimate. Pranayama is the ultimate. Spiritual practices is the ultimate solution. That's what I feel. As we know very well, only two things: social distancing and sanitization. These are the basics of any spiritual teaching from any tradition. So Shaucha, Santosha, all those things are very much our foundations of our spiritual teachings. So if you can practice spirituality, you'll definitely stay away from such infections. And if at all you have got a chance of getting infection, if at all accidentally you get infected also, you will come out of it. You'll fight and come out of it. So I feel, being a medical practitioner and my experience during this COVID-19 period, where I went to huts of poor people and I met all the officers, health in charge, and spiritual teachers, different people. With my personal discussions, what I learned is that positive attitude is very important. That's what yoga can give us. So I feel everybody must practice yoga.
In fact, you said, being positive is important, but people are worried about, scared about the word positive nowadays. Because positive, when you say it is corona positive and all those things. So in that way, be positive in your mind, be negative with corona. That is important. Very nice, Swamiji. You had brought a wonderful dimension. And in this dimension, I would like to ask clarification, because I think you are the right person. You have the health and medical background, and you are in the Ramakrishna order, a monk there. We take the spiritual trinity of Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi, and Swami Vivekananda as our ideal, the spiritual ideals for sure. And definitely they have a lot of practical insights for a common man's life. It is not just only high Vedanta. The speciality of the the divine trio of Ramakrishna order is their message is relevance for even a common people. It is relevant for monks like you. It is relevant for social workers like me. It is also relevant for lay people, whomsoever, whatever you do in terms of their teaching. But in terms of their life, if you see, when we are talking of health, all these actually, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, towards the end of his life, he had a cancerous infection on his throat, which he had. And Swami Vivekananda also died at a young age of 39. Today world is worried about film stars, heroes who are all dying. We had somebody in Karnataka who died at 40 age something 2 weeks back. And 3 days back, there was somebody, of course, it was a suicide, and somebody had a cardiac arrest. That's different. But Swamiji at a young age, 39 when he died. So many people always ask this question when when we go and preach or teach this. You say Swami Vivekananda is a great yoga master, but why did he have this premature death at 39? And he also seems to had some health issues also. And similarly, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, though we consider him to be Avatara Varishta, but in terms of his health, he had the cancerous infection on his throat. And Sri Mata also, though she had a long life compared to Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, definitely she also had kind of arthritis kind of issues on her leg and all those things. So does it not contradict that through yoga and spirituality we can get a good health, what you said, but the ideal masters themselves, maybe they fail to have this good health, Swamiji?
A very good question. What you're asking is, what we talk about human beings, and when we talk about avatara purushas, it's different. Whenever an avatara descends to earth, God coming in the form of human body to teach us. So the purpose of Sri Ramakrishna, purpose of Ma Sharada Devi and Swami Vivekananda's life and message, when we read, we get a detailed idea. So at the outset, I would like to say to my friends who ask this question, we should read the life and message in detail. When we read, we will come to know. Take, for example, Swami Vivekananda Narendra. When he used to go to Sri Ramakrishna Guru, his Gurudev at Kali temple, every time he wanted to go and ask, I got a lot of pain at home, no food, because as we read his life, Narendra, young boy, lost his father, who was a very rich advocate in those days. Suddenly, they did not have food at home. Many times, Naren used to be spending nights without any food. That was the condition. So much of physical suffering Naren was undergoing. Every time he'll go to Sri Ramakrishna, he will feel, today I'll ask this question. But whenever he goes and stands in front of Sri Ramakrishna, what he will ask? Hey Bhagavan, give me Jnana, Bhakti, Viveka, Vairagya. Jnana, Bhakti, Viveka, Vairagya is the highest solution for any problem. When you analyze in detail, we'll come to know. So if you have the right knowledge, whether it is in material life or in spiritual life, you get the strength to face the problem. Bhakti, devotion to God. I have that deep devotion, Shraddha, Bhakti. God is there with me. No problem can disturb me. Viveka, what is right, what is wrong. What is there to permanent, what is impermanent. So Viveka, discrimination power. Vairagya, detachment from all that is worldliness and attachment towards God. If you can learn these 4 basic principles to be happy, it will do a lot to be free from all the miseries. So this is from Swami Vivekananda's life when he was Naren. So he was an Avatara Purusha. Though he had more problems, physical and material problems, than any other beings what we are having today, but they were always inclined towards that higher ideas. So whenever he will go, he will pray for those higher things. When it comes to Sri Ramakrishna's cancer, throat cancer, so he used to forget the pain of the cancer when he will pray, talk to Mother Kali, that spiritual enlightenment. Same thing with Ma Sharada Devi. When she used to live in a village with all sort of home problems, always her mind was in a different plane. Calmness, quietness, love, affection, service towards earth. All these higher ideas are always established in them. So we normal human beings have to keep them in front, keep all of them in front of our eyes to imbibe those higher ideas and ideals. Don't look them just as any physical body. So that's my first message. So now coming to as a yogi jivan, we want to lead. So first we have to understand we are not just this body and mind. It is something beyond this. Deya buddhya. All the problems arise when I think only I am body. So if you think there is something beyond this body, which is running this body, that highest energy which can be neither created nor be destroyed, I am that. I am that Lord himself. I am part of that Lord himself. I am Atman. I am Brahman. I am that spiritual entity. So when I chant Om, I should be able to connect with my original nature. I am not this body and mind. I am that highest energy, part of the God, Atman, Brahman. So when you try to feel that, you can forget all the physical pains, agonies. So again, to make it simple, when we look at the lives of this great avatar Purushas, we should try to see the life and message. So when we read the life and message, there is a purpose why Sri Ramakrishna had throat cancer. If you wanted, you would ask for Mother Kali to remove, it would have been cured. But
Exactly.
they came with a purpose. We should not seek anything material. If you want to seek God, God, ask for the highest.
I remember, once towards that end stage of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, that some of his disciples were asking him, Thakur, you could talk to mother. So at least you get up the strength to eat the food or drink some water. Even that is difficult. So he would never want to ask, but he comes back and says, I did ask. Then mother was telling, are you not ashamed? You're already eating through different mouths. Why do you want one more mouth to eat? So that is the Advaita Bhavana, in which, he was not only that Mamatma Sarvabhudatma. He was in that stage of feeling that oneness with everybody. So this is, I think, to teach a lesson for mankind that, even in times of difficulty, how do you keep your, mind and work that? The moment some small little headache comes to us, how big we, take it. Today, we are having this, the pandemic situation. When challenging things come, immediately how many people are going into different mindset, depression and all those things. So that is where I think we take the lesson from these spiritual masters that yes, even those great people, they had problems, but the way how they look into it.
Body, when you got a physical body, you have to suffer. Physical suffering is there, but you have to go beyond that plane of physical entity, Atma Bhava. So that can relieve you from all the sufferings.
But will that Atma Bhav not help us to overcome the physical suffering also? Now, like for example, you were telling in diabetes, you yourself have demonstrated with these children and all people.
Definitely the spiritual practices also can give you good health. For example, simple arthritis. If I can do proper yogasana and pranayama, arthritis can be cured, I say. Arthritis can be cured. This is what I say. And I have practiced and my patients are practicing. Similarly, coming to type 1 diabetes, the insulin requirement has come down and my children are leading a happy life. They have become role models for other children. And any
also,
type
like
2 diabetic,
I would, yes, Maharaj, please.
any type 2 diabetic who is a borderline diabetic, I teach them yogasana and pranayama. They come, whoever does it sincerely, they come back and tell, now my HbA1c is less than 5.8. I say, nothing to worry, please continue, we will not go for medicines. And patients who are on tablets, their medicines will get reduced. And they feel happy. Diabetes रहने के बावजूद हम आनंद में हैं. Ultimately, everybody want happiness. So yoga and pranayama can definitely give you physical benefits and also it gives happiness. So state of happiness itself will give you better health.
That ultimate, ananda in which all these monks, all these great, avatara purushas were always there, no matter how the external situation was changing for them. They were always in that. And also what I think is like the yoga, adhyatma is like a kalpataru. It's like a wish fulfilling tree. You ask what you want, it gives. For normal people, we want our physical health and mental well-being, all those that is giving. But these Mahapurushas are in a different plane. It is a spiritual well-being which they are, so they don't bother the external physical problems what they have. If they would have wished to cure, by prayer to them or by their touch, others are getting cured. So if by the Sankalpa Matra, if they wanted to cure themselves, I think definitely they could have done it. But their mind is not that. That is not what they want. They are in a higher level of connection, what rightly as you said. And in this context, I remember once I was participating in an international yoga conference where one of the great acclaimed yoga acharya from Tamil Nadu, he is almost 80 plus his age was, and his name itself is attached to asana. People identify him as asana, somebody like that, the name is called. And he was also the yoga acharya for the then chief minister of Tamil Nadu and all. So very acclaimed person whose shows happen in TV every day. He was there and I was also there in the keynote panel. So first when he was speaking, he was telling, yoga is important for life, to live a long life, 100 years, as the Veda says and everything. See, I am 80 years, I'm still healthy and I can do all asanas. He stood on a big piece of block of ice and then started demonstrating various asanas in the melting ice block. And at the age of 80, which is very fascinating. We were all very much, surprised to see that. And then he said, so if you are to lead a happy life, so it should be a healthy life, then you should, do yoga for it, for living 100 years. So which is fine. We don't have any contradiction in that. But then in passing, he made a passing comment saying, Swami Vivekananda died at 39 years because he didn't do yogasana. And his guru Sri Ramakrishna died at 50 years because he didn't do yogasana, which was like, for me, I'm sitting next to him. I have been a very staunch, follower of the Ramakrishna order and tradition. I've initiated devotee there. And with all those, I couldn't just digest the comment what he made. So after that, this was my talk. So then when I was talking, when it was my chance to talk, so I made a passing comment saying that I do not know how a student who has been failing in the LKG for 80 years, the LKG of asana for 80 years, can talk about Mahatmas who crossed the PhD of Samadhi. So they were in that kind of a state. Sri Ramakrishna, and Swamiji was in that kind of a state where they can at their will go into Bhava Samadhi and come back. That was the highest. And we say in yoga, Samadhi is the highest stage. So they were in that stage. So they were in a different. We can't judge them by doing this. And not because you have not. Today, what has happened? Unfortunately, the fashion in yoga field also. If you are a yogacharya, then you pose a lot with your yogasanas. External pradarshanaatmaka is becoming more. So not just because they haven't posed any yoga postures and therefore you can't claim that they have not done it. And it is not only limited to asana. As I said, asana is the LKG where you start, where you have, samadhi is the PhD, what Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji have crossed. So I think we have to go deep, as you rightly said, the deep. We read them, we understand them, then we start living with them and imbibing a lot from them, Maharaj. So in this context, again, as we are discussing yoga today, as in the beginning I said, if today we have yoga far and wide, which is spread and people are accepting all over the world, it could be B.K.S. Iyengar who went and taught yoga in the West, or the spiritual aspects of yoga, like maybe Paramahamsa Yogananda, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and many others who went and did. For all those, it is Swamiji who laid the foundation. When he went, he stayed there. Swamiji literally stayed there. He couldn't come back. He went for one speech, but he stayed there in the West for 4 long years, teaching yoga to all his disciples there. So what are the yogic teachings which Swamiji taught there? Mainly, I think the 4 streams of yoga today, what we talk about, are all, that's what Swamiji taught. And Ramakrishna Mission, even in the very emblem which Swamiji has designed, I think have all the 4 yoga very much in that. So can you please elaborate to us, Swamiji, on the 4 paths of yoga as propounded by Swami Vivekananda, and also about how Ramakrishna Mission brings it to practical implementation today?
Wonderful question. And already, as you mentioned, by the word yoga, we have to understand it is Ashtanga Yoga. What we have done is we have limited ourselves with only asanas. Many few people know about even pranayama. So yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. So there is the only 4th step. Those who are practicing pranayama. So those who are not practicing, they are only on the 3rd step. I don't know whether they know about yama and niyama. What to do, what not to do for a good life.
We know about Yama, who is the god of death. Or Yamaha, or there's a bike called Yamaha.
So I humbly advise everybody. So first we have to learn by the word yoga. It is Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. So asanas are like any physical exercise, but they are little superior to the physical exercise that we do, because by doing proper posture, right relaxation and right extension, contraction and relaxation, so that will give you proper posture to your body. So it's better than any other general exercises. But along with that, it asks us to focus our mind. So your mind is getting concentrated. So that's where it is little better than any other exercise. So for all those people who restrict themselves only for few postures, asanas, I tell them there is nothing more than any athletic, any exercise. But who do practice sincerely, I appreciate them because they're going to next level. They're focusing their mind. It is helping them to focus their mind. After doing this, when they learn about pranayama, so it is taking them to next higher level. Prana Shakti. Prana Shakti, when it is properly done, when it properly manifested throughout the body, through every cell, it becomes. Sorry, I was getting a call from USA, just cut it. Okay. So I said, after pranayama comes the next steps. Pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. To make it simple, be away from all those things which will disturb us. Pratyahara, dharana. Always think about the positive things, the higher ideas and ideals taught by our great saints, the avatara purushas. Dhyana, when you become one with that idea, then you attain that highest state of bliss, ananda, samadhi. That is the utility of this human body. Sharira madhyam kalu dharma sadhanam. So dharma, that highest ananda, by the word dharma, we are supposed to reach that highest ananda. God realization, what Sri Ramakrishna told, Ishwar Labh, Jivan, Param Shresht, Uddesh, Jivan mein hona chahiye. So we have to always think of the highest things that we are supposed to get from by practicing yoga. So Sri Ramakrishna, in a very common language, colloquial language, he said, "Mare to hathi maro, loote to bhandar looto." तो अगर भगवान से पूछना है मांगना तो बड़ा, go and get the highest, because this physical body is not going to be permanent. One day it has to become one with the Panchabhutas, that we know very well. So try to reach that highest ananda. So keep that samadhi in front of us. One day I have to reach that samadhi. For that, I have to reach that state of dhyana. For that, I have to away from all the other things which disturb me. Pratyahara dharana. For that, I have to practice asana and pranayama. So asana and pranayama is the just basic beginning of our yoga life. Ashtanga yoga, when we keep in front of us, we can always inspire ourselves to go forward, to get that highest bliss, ananda. So when you get that ananda, when you have gone beyond this deha buddhi, this body doesn't matter. So as I said, sharira madhyam kalu dharma sadhanam. What is the utility of this body? Why should I keep this body healthy? Why should I keep this fit? To get that highest ananda. If you're a devotee, to become a true devotee of God. So keeping this mind, Swami Vivekananda.
That is what is the bhakti yoga.
Yes, Swami Vivekananda has focused on 4 yogas. One is Bhakti Yoga, to become a true devotee of God, to become a true devotee of God in true sense, to get His Ashirvad. When you surrender to God, you get that Dhanyata Bhava. So either you do it by work. So whatever the work I do, it should be service. It should be done for the welfare of the humanity, not for myself. And all the work that we do, we should do with love and affection. Karma Yoga. Then try to practice little meditation. Focus your mind. Raja Yoga. Jnana Yoga. What is right, what is wrong, what is permanent, what is impermanent. So in brief, Swami Vivekananda has taught 4 yogas. So for my viewers, I request to read them. The 4 yogas taught by Swami Vivekananda. And he says, synthesis of 4 yogas. Because I will not be able to do always meditation. And I will not be able to always do karma yoga. Always I will not be able to go and sit in the temple and do devotion to my God. And always I will not be able to do read scripture so that I will get the right knowledge. So synthesis of yogas is the ideal way to develop a proper, complete, whole personality and become a better spiritual personality. So synthesis of 4 yogas is the unique contribution of Swami Vivekananda. All the teachings are based on our scriptures. And he has taken the ideas from all different traditions of our Sanatana Dharma. So in this modern days, whatever is necessary based on our scriptures, if you want to go and read the life and message of Swami Vivekananda. Try to practice the synthesis of 4 yogas: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga.
And very wonderfully, in fact, Swamiji himself had brought these 4 wonderful books which are there, which are of course part of the complete works of Swamiji, but also Ramakrishna Mission Centers have the 4 books on Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Karma Yoga, which is authored by Swamiji, where wonderfully in a scientific way he brings all those. For example, when you see Raja Yoga, it is along with Patanjali Yoga Sutras commentary which Swamiji himself has given. I don't know, many of my yoga friends who are watching this would not be much knowing that Swami Vivekananda himself has even written a commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Many of us, quote Patanjali Yoga Sutra. We start every yoga class with a prayer to Patanjali, quote Patanjali Yoga Sutra and everything. But a commentary written by none other than Swami Vivekananda himself for that in the Raja Yoga, he adds, that is where always it's not just he told what he thinks, but he connected to the roots. It is Upanishads, it is a Bhagavad Gita, it is a Yoga Sutra, if it's Bhakti Yoga, then it's a Narada Bhakti Sutra, all those things, Karma Yoga from the Gita. The practical insights from the scriptures is what Swami Vivekananda had wonderfully brought and had given. I think this Yoga Day 2020, all our yoga teachers should take a swadhyaya. It's not about celebrating Yoga Day, it's not about only doing some asanas and having a show for 1 hour and do it. In fact, this year, we are not able to do anything. The Bahirmukha programs, what we do, it is completely banned, and therefore we're all going to do it from home to home, as the Prime Minister clearly asked us to do. So in your routine on Yoga Day, it's going to be a Grahanam also. So use that opportunity to do a Swadhyaya. Read, at least I would recommend everybody this year for the Yoga Day, at least let's read, let's make a Swadhyaya Abhiyan of reading Swami Vivekananda's Raja Yoga. Even in 1 day, we can complete, reading like a full Nitya Akanta Parayanam people do of Gita and other things. So why can't we do that? So let us take the Raja Yoga of Swami Vivekananda, read it. Then next time, probably, take the book of Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and you will get wonderful practical reality applications through the insights which Swamiji is giving. And that is what the Ramakrishna Mission is also trying to bring it into practical Vedanta, practical implementation. And that's what Swamiji did when he went to the West in those days. We don't have to do any service there. So Swamiji introduced the highest of yoga teaching because they were already having the Laukika life was very safe and secure, but mentally they were in a very disturbed state. There was no proper discipline, values, and all those things were lacking. Whereas they were very organized. They had scientific fervor, which was Swamiji brought back to India. And here through the service activities, when he came, he didn't teach the yoga at that time. The common, for monks, of course, though he gave it, but for common people, it was seva and tyaga ideals he put forth. Like today, we are having the pandemic situation of Corona. It was the different situation of cholera and TB and all those which are going on. So Swamiji brought his disciples to work for that, and do it. So when Swamiji, the very Swami who started your center where you are there, I think Swami Kalyananji Maharaj, when Swamiji sent him to Haridwar, it is not to go and sit there. Now today, yoga people, all our yoga students are fascinated to go to Rishikesh, to Haridwar, and then sit in the mountain range and take a photograph and come back. I don't know whether they sincerely meditate or not, but we will take a selfie in the Himalayan terrain and come back. But it's when Swamiji sends Swami Kalyananji Maharaj, it is for to go and clean and start, the sanitary work and then bring health awareness. The Sevashrama is what it started. That's where the wonderful, Swamiji, who taught spiritual ideals to the West and brought seva ideals to India. And today's situation, as you rightly said, the amalgamation of all those, no matter whether you are in America or India, we require all the 4 yogas together to take ahead. I think that is what the emblem of Ramakrishna Mission also signifies. You have the sun, which is rising sun, which indicates Jnana Yoga, and we have the wavy waters, which is indicating the Karma Yoga, the blossoming lotus, which is Bhakti Yoga, and the snake, the awakened Kundalini Shakti of Raja Yoga, and Tanno Hamsa Prachodayati, it ultimately to Paramhamsa, to the Bhagavad Sakshatkara. All these 4 paths lead to the same goal, is what Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda ideally brought to us. And therefore today, after the Prime Minister had taken a keen step towards yoga, we have the Ayush Ministry, which is bringing a unifying factor of bringing all yoga institutions together. We have the Indian Yoga Association everywhere. Ramakrishna Mission also plays a great role. We have Swami Atmapriyananji Maharaj, who is the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda University from Belur Mutt, which was representing in all these governmental bodies also today. That's wonderful because it has all started with Swamiji. So we want Swamiji's representation, and the right direction therefore is coming. And I'm so glad today that Swami Dayadhipananda Maharaj brought a lot of yogic insights to our discussion, and where he is a way though I am in touch with so many, almost hundreds of Ramakrishna Mission Swamijis, but I thought for this discussion our Dayadhipananda Maharaj is relevant because he is somebody who is a medical doctor and working in that field, and also who had taken yoga practice and giving it to practically the people. He himself teaching. I have seen, that is the thing I've seen in him. So all sannyasis are practicing for them, but here somebody who also teaches for others and brought wonderful results in terms of especially the diabetic care what he is doing. So that is where I thought Swamiji is the right person today for our discussion. And it goes on, Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna's work are endless. We keep on talking, hours will not be enough. And what we could discuss, I think we did take into the discussion. And before we conclude, Maharaj, we have a rapid fire round. I would always ask rapid fire questions. So let me think what I can ask for you. And of course, it's difficult to get a rapid fire answer from you because you are a real yogi who is in that calm composure state. So what I can, a monk.
True servant of the humanity.
A doctor.
Who can really feel the pain of others.
A doctor when he becomes a monk.
Who can feel the pain of the humanity and try to serve a little to reduce the pain of the humanity to find his own eternal ananda.
Dr. Shivkumar in the past.
Energetic youth with a lot of dreams.
Swami Dayadhipananda.
Monk with a lot of responsibilities because people around him love him, they inspire him to serve more.
Guru.
Only source, only hope, only thing to take us beyond this cycle of birth and death, samsara chakra.
The diabetic champs.
If you know, you can win.
A yogi.
If you can be one with all, you can be a true yogi. Where there is I, there is illness. Where there is we, there is wellness. Journey from illness to wellness.
The corona.
Special situation to remind our great culture and heritage.
Post-corona.
Where our real culture and heritage would be seen more prominently.
Yoga Day, International Day of Yoga.
That should be the real day, and every day should be a yoga day.
Nice. Wonderful, Swamiji, for it was very spontaneous and relevant answers. Well, one thing, though we are going beyond time. When I said Guru, and then when you gave the answer, I remembered, though Swami Purushottamanaji has been your, guide all throughout, and he had hold your hands and he had brought you to what you are. And I also remember that you were Diksha Guru and Sannyasa Guru is Srimad Swami Atmasthananji Maharaj, and who is my Diksha Guru as well. So in that way, I revere you as my brother, the Guru Bhai. And also, what is very interesting for the benefit of the viewers is Srimad Swami Atmasthananji Maharaj is the spiritual mentor, the Guru of our beloved Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. Many times he had gone, as you know, met with Swamiji and had always shared his experiences. When in his sadhana days, he had been with Srimad Swami Atmasthananji Maharaj at Rajkot Ramakrishna Mission Center. And since then, his life was a turning point. He wanted to become a monk in the Ramakrishna Mission, like Swamiji who has become. But it was Sri Atmasthananji Maharaj who directed him into Seva, into the Samajika Kshetra, that he has gone into politics and all those things. So in this context, I just remembered our Guruji, Srimad Swami Atmasthananji Maharaj. This year's Buddha Purnima was his centenary celebration also. And unfortunately, due to the pandemic situation, we could not have any big celebrations, other things. But gratefully, I remember Srimad Swami Atmasthananji Maharaj, who is the spiritual mentor of our beloved Prime Minister, also the Guru of our Dayadhipananda Maharaj, who is with us, and also my Diksha Guru. So with this Guru Smarana, today we conclude today's session of the Kaapi, this Kashaya, and a personal interaction with a yogi. We had a wonderful living example of a yogi in Swami Dayadhipananda Maharaj, who is bringing all this into practical implementation, being in the monk and also, taking the health services to people. And he doesn't end with the physical health, but he is also taking them the mental, emotional, psychological, social, and spiritual health as well. That is what a monk could make a difference. When he was only doctor in the Purvashrama, what he could have done, but becoming Swamiji, he has expanded, the level of seva, what he could do. He's setting a real role model to all of us by doing this, and we are so glad that Swamiji was with us, sharing his wonderful insights with us. Thank you, Maharaj, for being with us and sharing such wonderful, guidance and insights. I'm sure the yoga community will benefit with all these wonderful experiences, your own personal experience, and also the reference of Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda, and Swami Vivekananda's yogic experiences that you have shared. Is going to tremendously help all of us. And friends, stay back with us. Tomorrow we are going to have another wonderful yogini, Dr. Satyalakshmi from the National Institute of Naturopathy at Pune. She is the director of National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune, and she's going to be with us for this discussion tomorrow on yoga and naturopathy aspects, being the head of the National Institute. And the list goes on. We are going to have so many yogis with us, and as please mark your time, 8 to 9 this whole week. Don't even miss. We are going to have wonderful yogis from different great paramparas like Krishnamacharya Parampara and various other parampara. We're going to have yogis to come and participate with us. And also on 21st of June, we are going to have Guruji, Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji, who is pioneering yoga guru of this whole today's movement. What is happening, even the Yoga Day, the Ayush Ministries ventures, everything. He is literally the binding force of all the yogis today. And on 21st, on the Yoga Day, we're going to have Guruji with us. So don't even miss all these. Keep watching, share to others. And also, if you have any questions to be asked to all these yogis, please do share with me, and I would be grateful to ask on all your behalf. I'm representing all of you for doing this. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Sashtanga pranams to you for your patient participating with us. Hari Om. Thank you so much. Namaste.